What if I would tell you that there are secret altcoins that Crash is buying at this stage? And he recently just flipped bullish in the midst of everyone being bearish, in the midst of everyone still short. And this is once in a lifetime opportunity, because this pocket of time to actually be entering into this alt is very, very short. And you have the option right now, because I'm going to tell you which alt he's bullish on. You have the option to specifically buy the altcoins that he's longing and he's buying himself, which means that he will be supporting them through the bull part of the upcoming bounce, of the upcoming reversal. You just enter now. Everything you would have to do, hold and make money, outperforming 99% of the market. If you want to do that, make sure you watch this video till the end. I will give you a small cap altcoin pick that no one actually knows at this stage. The Crash is talking about it. Without further ado, let's start. First of all, in the max bearishness on this marketplace, what do we see the Crash is sharing? Max bullish. He shared it yesterday. Switch from short buys to long buys. I believe altcoins are bottom. Altcoins are bottomed. There is a huge speculation on the marketplace regarding this part, because no one essentially believes that altcoins, they do have a chance to reverse at this stage. No one trusts them. People are bearish. In general, altcoins are seen as a scam. And this is exactly the right moment when you need to be getting into them. I would even say that what are people doing? They're trying to buy into meme coins. They try to allocate into meme coins. And I do think at a certain point of time, and initially they will be outperforming, but over the long enough period of time, the biggest amount of access is going to be in alts, because newcomers, they will need reasons, and current market participants as well, they will need reasons in order to hold something. And it's way easier to hold a real product with some revenue coming in, with people using the product, with real team building, right, than holding the meme coin. If you like holding meme coins for multiple months, you pretty much have to be a psycho in the first place. It's not something that works for default people. And other take I also have. Do you think where big money are actually going to enter in this market? Do you think larger funds and all these people, like real rich fucking people, not just crypto dorks out there, will they be buying meme coins? Nah. They would want to buy technology. They would want to buy like new revolutionary AI project, new revolutionary gaming pawns and things like that. They're not going to buy the meme coins, especially on the news that we do have a range of applications for the ETFs, for the top altcoins. And if you think that, well, only top altcoins will go up and nothing else, you're wrong, because you're trying to bet against human greed. And this is the only thing you should never be betting against. At the same time, we do have rumors that Ethereum ETF staking might actually get approved for Ethereum ETF. And if you think the setup is pretty insane, because you have Ethereum and alts that they're pretty much in the bear market for 4 years. Nothing happened to them, right? Everything that we have seen are just echo chamber bounces in the first place. And first, you have Ethereum ETF staking that might get approved. And Ethereum is definitely the asset at this stage that only institutions are interested in buying in at this stage. So we definitely need institutional capital to enter into this asset, right? And secondly, we have a bunch of ETFs for a bunch of altcoins, which once we are in the risk-on setup, the market will be looking to allocate themselves in these things in order to make money, in order to really make it big, in order to really change your life. You have to be acting now. You have to be positioning yourself in winning altcoins. And what could be best than position yourself in the alts that were picked by a guy who just made probably more than $10 million in the recent downturn of the market? Absolutely, absolutely insane. Let's actually dive deep into the alts that Crash is sharing himself. Recently, Crash talks a lot about longing Celestia, TIA, which is a coin out of Cosmos, Atom ecosystem. Everyone just forgot about it. If you want to hear some fundamentals, TIA is a layer 1 modular blockchain that specializes in data availability and consensus rather than transaction execution. This design allows developers to build their own execution environments, such as rollups or layer 2 solutions, on top of TIA, leveraging its robust data availability and consensus capabilities, right? But Crash, he's the guy, he does not care about fundamentals in the first place. The only thing he's actually looking at is the chart. And he likes the chart. He mentioned it several times, mainly due to the fact that it's been down for 420 plus days at this stage. TIA is such shit, but so was Bera and so many chains that run up. Imagine how many people are positioned short on Celeste at this stage and short in every bounce because it's working for 420 plus days now. It's a very interesting thing. If you remember, I was constantly telling you that bet on alts at this stage is actually the bet on the change of a trend. These type of bets, they are providing the biggest amount of returns possible out there. But this type of bets, they're also the most risky one. In my case, for example, I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to long gaming coins. I lost all of this money because I was betting on the change of trend. That did not happen. Gaming coins are still pretty much at the bottom. And by the end of it, I will tell you about one that Crash kind of talks about at this stage. I won't share a lot of information because it's private, right? But it's pretty insane. Right? And the same situation is essentially with TIA. Everyone just thinks about shorting this thing and on each and every bounce. And at a certain point of time, this situation should be changing. TIA was one of the best performing altcoins in the run-up of the market that the market had at the end of 2023 and the start of 2024. Since then, for 420 plus days, it just down with a bunch of people shorting it and a bunch of people taught to short it in the first place. This shall be changing and this shall be providing the insane amount of access. Next thing he has on the list is actually Bonk, which is pretty interesting. Bonk is your largest meme coin on Solana at this stage, the first one as well, initially pumped by Godbit, right? Right now, it's at around $1 billion in market cap. Chart of this thing looks honestly great as well. Like it can easily go to 5 to 10 billions in the real bull setup on the marketplace that we will probably see in some time from now. Let's hear what Crash has to say. Now, if you look at Bonk, in my opinion, it's way better because it has 1 week divergence, daily divergence, and 4-hour divergence. He's essentially just saying that on the chart, you have bullish divergence for the asset at different time frames. And that's why he's saying that the reason we are bottoming right now for alts is because there is multiple divergences on similar time frames. Divergences is there where essentially your RSI indicator goes up already and the chart is still going down, signalizing that underneath of the whole chart of the price action, there is a strength in the asset, signalizing that we are close to reversal. This is essentially one of the main indicators and the way that Crash is calling the bottom for alts at this stage. So the pick number 2 is Bonk. So Bonk is a superior long to Sui to me 9 times out of 10. And we have to talk about Sui because Sui is something that Crash also talks about at this stage and actively shields and ensures that you should probably belong in this thing in the first place. Now, I was talking about Sui since the December of 2023. You might say I had some private info, but the phrase that I got from people that essentially rule hundreds of millions of dollars in this market. The phrase that I got, this is the next Solana. They will be pushing it as the next Solana. This is 100% something that we've seen happening since the end of the summer till the peak that Sui reached somewhere around January of 2025. This thing did 9x's, 9x's. I would say 8x's, like very few altcoins overnight because you could have entered like with any size that you want. Like it's a very high liquid altcoin at this stage. Very few projects have done something like this, to be honest. If you in any long positions, as long as Bonk above 0.1178, TIA above 2.4, Sui above 2.077, any longs are safe, but if we're breaking below those levels, I get out of all leverage longs and look to re-enter another week. And it's very interesting. The analysts I'm talking to, they're saying this thing that Crash just flipped bullish, all right? They're saying this week we actually will be dumping, and the week after they're entering the longs themselves. And this is something Crash is actually hinting. He's saying that until we are above these levels, it's fine. But if we are below, I will be planning to enter next week. This is the same thing that analysts that I'm talking to, that actually were present in my private Discord, are talking about at this stage. About the fact that this week we probably will be dumping. Next week is definitely the time to enter leverage long positions out there. Next thing on the list is obviously bread. It's something that Crash talks a lot on. Essentially a main meme coin that he has, a main meme coin he's probably running. Bread as the number 1 meme coin on base will finish as a top 4 meme coin this cycle. It makes sense too. You have Doge at number 1, then you have number 1, number 2 meme on Ethereum, Pep and Ship. Then you have number 1 meme on Sol, which is Trump. And then the number 1 meme on base. So simple. Yet, some of you are allergic to free money. And even worse, some of you are even literally too fat to pick up free money on the floor when it is in front of you like this. I do also believe that bread should have a pretty historical run. Like, I do believe that still at some point of time, I would just throw some money into it. Maybe if we will actually be dumping this week, I will be doing something like this. I will throw some money to enter low leverage loan, maybe like $30,000, $50,000 exposure, and just to hold it. The same way I held my Pepe loan and I had 400K profits at the local top. And then if I would have a 7-figure profit just from $20,000 that were on 3x leverage, which is pretty insane type of returns that it's very, very hard to get them anywhere. Next thing that Crash likes to talk about is Bobo. Bobo chart looks pretty insane here, and this is one of the lower caps out there, and I do believe that he will keep just supporting and continuing it, and the only thing that this thing actually needs to run is Ethereum. And I do think that in the upcoming next wave up of Ethereum, probably these memes that are not like alpha plays, but they're beta plays, I do think that they will be receiving the biggest amount of liquidity out there, because if you enter in with size, this is very, very good and free money out there, right? I do think so. At the same time, will current market participants be looking to enter Pepe? They do understand that the upside is quite limited at this stage. Only maybe like with huge amounts of capital or in high leverage loans, right? And this thing here at $60 million market cap looks very nice to me. And just look at this chart, like it's absolutely insane. Like, it's perfect. I can tell you the future. I can tell you what will be happening like right after. Something like this. And this is something that Crash is sharing, like Bob at 15 million, guaranteed to run back to 150 million plus in good market, but has the potential to go 200 million to 1 billion too. So 10 or 100x on the next run. Imagine you just put 5K in Boba. In the best case scenario, you put 5K right now. In the best case scenario, you're getting out $500,000. Probably maybe either by the end of 2025 or somewhere in the middle of 2026, maybe in the first quarter. What other industry, what other time would actually give you an option like that? None. That's obviously the best case scenario, but it's still pretty interesting. AI coin that Crash is a fan of is Render. And we can definitely see that actually Render is one of the strongest coins out there, because what it is showing is that it actually printed the bottoms at around 2.9, 2.8 levels, and it's already higher. It's already significantly higher than its bottom in comparison to a bunch of coins out there. It's already higher by 37%, which other things, they're still printing the bottoms at this stage, right? And this is $2.2 billion coin at this stage. Render is essentially for Crash is the thing to have just AI exposure. He sees this as the biggest AI coin, and it's just the simplest AI coin to put the money into, right? Because anyone just goes into the AI category on the coin market cap, and if they want to have exposure to AI, they just buy Render. When Render goes to $20 plus, this is something Crash is sharing, which is 5x from here, but it's a very, very good size. I make 10 million plus USD on that alone, which means that Crash is long Render or has a position in Render at this stage on somewhere around $3 million, which is huge conviction if you would essentially ask me, right? Next on the list is Peanut. Peanut is something that Crash was longing through the downturn on the market, right? And the chart of this thing looks absolutely insane as well. Like, it's very, very similar to the chart of Bobo. It just backs for the reversal from my point of view. Like, just look at this yearly chart. Absolutely insane. Peanut could get big pump any day soon. This is something that Crash is sharing at this stage. $135 million market cap. I do believe once we would be checking out these market caps, like in 6 months from now, we would literally cry because of the fact we did not buy enough. Because of the fact we're waiting for this last dip in this week and things like that. But I do actually believe that there is a chance that this week will actually be the last dip. My analysts are saying that. And Crash is hinting into that direction as well. Although you have to note, he's not trying to be greedy. He's entering already. He has his invalidation. And if an invalidation will hit, he will actually reposition into buy coins into the next week as well. Last but not least, something I actually have been talking on this channel for quite a while is Mavia. I cannot be sharing messages because they're essentially in private. I can hint that Crash was telling about this thing as well. And I've been longing this thing, like I lost so much money on actually trying to long this thing. Like probably if I would just buy spot at the same levels that I was buying, I would be way better set up like in comparison to me trying to long this thing. But guess what? I'm long Mavi at this stage. I got stop lossed by essentially price dropping then lower than 0.18. There's also a chance that if they will drop the market like significantly this week, I will get liquidated on my position as well. Something I actually do plan to do currently at this stage is just to continue to add margin into this thing just to make sure I save and increase the position, because even if you have like just 10k exposure, if you just buy a 5k spot into Mavia at this stage, Crash also mentioned that like it was being pushed by Alex Becker and top influencers when it was coming out. Do you know what does it mean? It means that most likely they will also push it at the proper time as well. This thing is already on Binance, like it's on Binance Perps, right? They return it to Binance Perps as well. Binance KuCoin, it's a blue chip project with $12.8 million in market cap, but you can actually leverage loan. That's pretty insane. The only issue is that it's very, very manipulative and they constantly hunt the liquidations out there, but you can just buy on spot. I do believe Mavia is actually going to be one of the greatest performers out there. This is it, guys. This is the whole overview that I wanted to provide you with today. Let me know if you actually found it valuable. Press the like button if you received any value from this content, and I shall be seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.